Happy New Year all, and welcome back as always to my channel. Hope you've had an amazing festive season, you've had some fun, got some great gifts, and that you're ready to bring in 2020. So all the best to you guys out there first of all. Second of all, thank you to those comments I've had on my channel so far. I've had a few new subscribers, so I really appreciate that, guys. One of the biggest questions I've had so far, I've had a couple of private messages as well, it's really what have I done to help with regrowth. And in this video I just wanted to do really the top 3 things that I believe have contributed to the regrowth. One of these things, the one I'm going to get into straight away, number 3, is time. And I was going to say one of these things is something that's not really anything you can change or anything you can do to speed up the process. It's just really some advice that I'm going to give you firsthand, and that's that this condition here, this Alopecia Barbae, which affects your beard, it's very time-based. It's nothing that you can rush, you can't help having a longer time to wait for this. I'm at 18 months regrowth at the moment, and it has been a long road. So my first piece of advice to you guys, if you are going through this, if you've just woken up and like me in July 2018, you woke up with a quarter-sized patch in your beard, somewhere on your beard there, it's not going to be something that's going to take a few weeks, a couple of months, 5 months. It's going to be an ongoing process. And really what you're going to notice is the condition does develop and it does change as the months go by. For me, it started as that quarter-sized piece, which then spread up half of my beard. The other one that joined it over here came along shortly, and I've got a few other ones here and there on the beard. So it does constantly evolve, and only till it stops, when you notice that, say a month goes by and you've noticed no new spots, you've noticed no new patches arriving, then that's when you're going to start with the regrowth. So there are a few stages to this. One of them is that the first one you're going to notice is that you're going to get some very soft, very fine white hairs inside those patches. So if you're at the time now of the process where you're starting to notice small hairs that are known as villus hairs, they're very similar to that of a baby, so very, very soft, very, very smooth around those hairs, and at first completely unnoticeable. So if you've got those to begin with, that's a great sign, and what will happen over the next few months is they're going to start coarsening up, and you're going to notice that mix of hairs in that area. So for me, the example here, let's get in again. So see here, it's the mix of the silver and the dark hairs in this one, like I pointed out in my most recent video. And over here, it's a bit very coarse hairs coming in here now, but down here still very, very smooth. So this is, as I said, constantly evolving, constantly changing. And for me, it has just totally finished, touch wood, in the developing spots, even though I did notice on the last video a patch under here that I didn't notice before, but this one is already full of white hair, so it's kind of come in and it's going as quickly as it arrived. Anything down on the neckline isn't too bad either. It's really the main face that you're going to start seeing those in, visible in photos and whatnot. Down here it's really just going to come in and hopefully, like mine's, just fill in instantly. So yeah, time, really just some advice to you guys. If you're looking in the mirror just hoping that you're seeing regrowth, just wait it out. I know it's easier said than done, but it is going to be a big piece of advice I can give, is just wait this thing out, and yeah, hopefully before you know it, you're going to start seeing that regrowth. Point number 2, something I've actively changed, is my diet. So just cut out any sugar. I didn't really have too much of a sugar intake. I really just drink a lot of water rather than any fizzy drinks or sodas. I don't eat sweet things like any candy or sweets or anything. But what I have done, I used to add a bit of sugar to my coffee and things like that. So I've just made sure now that any sugar I am intaking is just through fruit or any natural sugars that might be around. So yeah, if you've got a diet that's a little bit all over the place, if you're trying everything at this point to try and see some regrowth and progress, it doesn't hurt anyway. Even if it's not for the alopecia's sake, it's good for your own body as well. So diet's definitely the second thing that I've started to notice accelerated regrowth as soon as I started eliminating certain things from my diet. Tonight, not a good example because it's New Year's Eve, so I have got a beer on the go. Cheers, guys. But yeah, trying to cut down on alcohol, really just, a few times a week I'd have a few beers. Now it's really once a week, or sometimes once every couple of weeks. It's just you know, focusing on other things, and again trying to eliminate as much of the calories and the unneeded things that are going into my system. So if you're having a high calorie, high sugar diet, just make a few changes and hopefully you'll see the progress just like me. And number one for me, exercise. And I know a few of you out there, you may bike to work, you may go on a walk. That's great, because as any exercise, as little or big, if I can't really talk today, I've already had a few beers, as small or great amount of exercise as you're having, every little helps. So if you're doing any form of exercise, just keep at that, because I've joined a gym, I've started going to a sauna, which could almost be a little side point, because the sauna, great for flushing out those pores, sweating it all out, all those impurities. And yeah, if you've got any blocked pores that might have been a source of your alopecia, the sauna is going to flush out those pores and hopefully have what's known as a terminal hair come in those bald spot place. So hopefully that's going to be a big change for you. But exercise is not only going to make you feel better on the outside, but it'll help you feel better mentally and on the inside too. Because this is a tricky situation, a tricky condition to deal with, as I'm going to get into in a few more of my videos. And I want to hear from you guys as well. If whatever you're going through right now, if you want to let me know in the comment section, if you'd rather private message me, that's great. But I am here to listen, and I'm here to help with this situation too, because it can be embarrassing. It can be very unusual and surprising. I mean, if you're like me and you've never had a condition that affects anything like that, it can be very much out of left field and just very difficult to know how to deal with it. So yeah, so that's the top three really, guys. No magical remedy, no you know, witch doctor kind of remedies for this one. I've heard that putting garlic and onion juice on the patches can help. I actually tried the garlic. I took a clove, cut the top off and squeezed it into the patches. The video I watched for advice, they said that if you can handle the smell, then it's a good way to go. I couldn't handle the smell, unfortunately. I put a small bit on this patch here, and for the next 3 days, it was in my system, and every time I sweat, I could smell nothing but garlic. It was like I'd eaten it in my mouth and was just constantly blowing it out on my breath. So I was one of those guys. If it works for you, more power to you. I didn't see any regrowth, and I definitely couldn't handle the smell. So I'm just trying to think of 3 realistic things. So time, just again keeping that in mind as we go forward and as you can battle the condition. Just keep a handle on that and know that it's not going to happen overnight. So keep your eye on the long game. Number 2 is our diet. Let's just make sure that we're eating plenty of greens, plenty of salads, plenty of protein as well, staying as healthy as possible. And number 1 is your exercise routine. So all good things that you need to deal with just for a really healthy lifestyle anyway. But hopefully this is what's going to help with this regrowth as the months go by. So thanks again for listening, guys. Have an amazing new year, and I will see you in 2020. Peace.